Hello everyone, welcome to our video. We are member of cross-cultural communication class conducted by Ms. MINH during the last semester. So in this video, we will talk about stereotypes and thinking objectively. Especially, we will explain to you about three stereotypes in three different countries of French, Vietnam, and Chinese. Our group consists of 5 members. My name is TRào hiNG. I will send you a definitions for the 5 terms: stereotype, bias, prejudice, discrimination, and racism. And next, 3 common stereotypes. The first one, we talk about French people are the best lover. Nghệ An is the wooden fish people, will be presented by MINH. And QUտ NH, we talk about Chinese students are really good at math. And finally, QUين will draw a conclusion about those stereotypes and discuss what you learned from these projects. Well, let's start with our team right now. Did you ever hear anyone say, you cannot trust the Chinese, or girls are not good at sport? And are these statements completely true? Of course not. They are stereotypes. The automatic application of information we have about a country or cultural group, both are positive and negative. If you consider only stereotype when interacting with people, you are probably not seeing them for who they truly are. So, to understand the world objectively, you must explore and understand the different experiences and behaviors of people in the cultures. And right now, let's find out with us. Well, the first part is definition of 5 terms: stereotype, bias, prejudice, discrimination, and racism. Firstly, stereotype. Where do stereotypes come from? In fact, new stereotypes are rarely created. Rather, they are recycled from subordinate groups that have assimilated into society and are reused to describe newly subordinate groups. According to Wikipedia, social psychology defines a stereotype as a generalized belief about a particular category of people. It is an expectation that people might have about every person of a particular group. The type of expectation can vary. It can be, for example, an expectation about the group personality, preference, appearance, or ability. For example, only boys can play sports. Women are not as much as the men. Or Robinson and Bernice in 2008 point out, black male athletes are often believed to be more athletic, yet less intelligent than their white male counterparts. And the next term, bias. What is the bias? Pursuant to psychology today, a bias is a tendency, inclination, or prejudice towards or against something or someone. Some biases are positive and helpful, like choosing to only eat foods that are considered healthy, or staying away from someone who has knowingly caused harm. And the third, prejudice. In website Your Dictionary, prejudice is an idea or opinion that disregards basic facts. Is similar to ignorance or a lack of knowledge, experience, or education. An example of prejudice is liking a person because they have blue eyes, or not liking someone because they don't share your religions. And the fourth, discrimination. What is discrimination? The respect, a horrible experience. Well, as reported by the Discrimination Act, discrimination is when a person is treated disfavorable or when a person's dignity is violated. They can be direct or indirect, inadequate accessibility, harassment, sexual harassment, or an instruction to discriminate are also forms of discrimination. For instance, in the late 19th century, it was not uncommon for business owners to hang signs that read "whites only" signs. It implied over discrimination that is not tolerated today. And the last term, racism. As reported by Wikipedia, racism is the belief that a group of humans possesses different behavioral traits corresponding to inherited attributes and can divide it based on the superiority of one race over another. The Ku Klux Klan is an example of a racist organization. Its members believe in white supremacy has encouraged over a century of hate crime and hate speech, or maybe telling a racist joke and believing in the superiority of white people. Well, it's all about definition of five terms. Next to me, here LIệN and HeiÜ will talk about three stereotypes of three different countries.
Hello, my name is HIệu and welcome to our presentation. And the first stereotype that I wanted to talk about is French people are the best lovers. Yeah, to be honest, as it stands today, the stereotype is only true in some cases, honestly. Not that the French people are the best lovers, but ignores the other people in other countries. And now let's find out what this stereotype is so popular around the world. One, I want to talk about the kiss. When it comes to the kiss, we often immediately think of the French kiss. Yeah, the French kiss, so known as the deep kiss. Yeah. So here we have a saying that shows its popularity. I think other countries believe we're good lovers because we have the French kiss. In all the world, when you say you're going to French, they all know about the French kiss. Yeah. The integration of countries had happened. Foreign cultures have been accepted, especially about the French kiss has been applied by Vietnamese people. Yeah, as you can see, masculine, so sweet. The man in martial. It means that don't overestimate masculinity. Yeah, there's a saying that they treat women with more respect and not as objects. Yeah, humor. Currently, men and women are equal. So it's not entirely true. It's not totally true to say that the French people are the best lovers. In Vietnam, so many good people who respect their love and finally they had a happy ending. Yeah. So here are some examples. Thanh Sơn, Quỳnh Cun, Thanh Phương, Nha Phương và Trường Giang. Yeah. So the next thing I want to talk about is Paris, city of love. So here we have 5 reasons why Paris is a city of love. The first one, the Eiffel Tower in Paris. The lights in Paris. Love lost in Paris. The culinary delights in Paris. And the last one, the love letters in Paris. Yeah. Maybe you don't know there's many places in Vietnam for couple in love to show off their love. Yeah, you can go there without having to fly to France. For example, Sapa, Hạ Long, Hà Nội, and Huế. Yeah. And the last thing I want to talk. I believe that the French always give way to the women first. Yeah, but it's not totally true. Not only the French, honestly, in Vietnam today, even other countries, also like that. Yeah, the idea that men are superior to women that has been almost eliminated. And honestly, we're not surprised that keeping up women first has become a minimum courtesy. And in general, foreign culture has been received and used by Vietnamese people, and it's no longer appropriate to put too much emphasis on the French. The French are the best lover. French people are the best lover. Yeah. So now, if you want to get more stereotype and this explanation of this thing. So let's move to the next part with my friend. Hi.
Hi, I'm MINH. Today I would like to talk about the stereotype which is quite popular in Vietnam. Nghệ An is a gluten fish people. Good fish is an unreal dish, a fake dish just to satisfy mental frustration. When I mention about Nghệ An people, there are many things come up to my mind, like they are courageous, hardworking, and intelligent. But some people think that Nghệ An people are stingy. So where does it come from? Why don't they eat real fish but eat gluten fish? I have looked for the information in the internet. From distant past to present day, image of gluten fish have been associated with Nghệ An. In the old day, there was a farmer who was so miserly that he did not dare to buy food. From here, he hung to a gluten fish floating in the middle of the house. When eating, smack mouth and eat rice, as if it really eaten with fish. The other story I read is that gluten fish is a story of a poor student who went to a school only to eat rice. He carved a gluten fish cooked in an earthen pot. Every evening, he went to his neighbor to ask for fish store, to have fish store with rice. And since then, the image of Nghệ An people is often mentioned as stingy. And up to now, this stereotype is still remain in Vietnam. However, is that true? According to the post I read in the internet, it proves that Nghệ An are not stingy as some people used to think, because it is necessary to understand that the starting point of this stereotype to understand how the people of Nghệ An had to struggle to grow up, to overcome difficulty, overcome suffering. For example, poor student I just mentioned, because he was so smart and eager to learn, he passed the positive exam. The people of Nghệ An are very proud of this story because it shows that diligent, hardworking, and the will to rise. Nghệ An people are poor but eager to learn and study well, not as stingy as people often think. From the future, Nghệ An has many outstanding leaders, such as Phan Bội Châu, President Hồ Chí Minh. So are the bright star of Vietnam, the dark brown of people of Nghệ An.
Hi, I'm LIêN. Today, I would like to talk about Chinese stereotype, which is a stereotype Chinese students are really good at math. So the wider stereotype is that Chinese students are not just good at math, but basically has academics in general, and especially simple. I mean, there have been a lot of jokes made on the internet about how Chinese students can come home with a grade less than A, which is a high mark, to the point where B+ or even A- is basically a failure. Like, check out the image I found on the internet of an Asia's grade scale. So, is this stereotype true? Well, if you look at the International Mathematical Olympiad competition, you will see that China has absolutely dominated. This trust is a bit outdated, but the trend still continues to this day. And check out the winning US team from the 2019. Another compelling piece of the evidence is the average IQ by country. If you take a look at this list from the first, you'll notice that the top 4 regions are the basically on ethnic Chinese. However, do keep in mind that IQ is not an absolute measure of intelligence, and models biologists recognize 8 different types of intelligence according to grammar theory. What I can tell you is that Chinese people have a traditional values education from the previous model era, where theoretical anybody could take the imperial examination, and if you well enough, you could become the government official. In the model era, where education is seen as the primary way for the young person to better themselves and to contribute to society, social class is also more important for China people than it is for Americans. And the higher your education, and the more educated you are, the higher your social class. And as such, the pressure for kids to do well in school is intense, and it starts early, definitely more so than in America, where the kids' happiness and the personal desires are usually prioritized over education. And this mentality is mostly true for Chinese immigrants as well. Most of the Chinese immigrants as well for like the past 50 years, like my parents' generation came from very poor China. And to them, studying hard and earning a good education is the only way to their children to build up a better life and improve their living standards. So a lot of Chinese Americans who grew up here also experience a lot of academic pressure, and this is important. I don't want anyone to think that all Chinese students are natural weak. That's not true. Most Chinese students were abroad or the mainland have self-blood, sweat, and tears to get where they are. And I mean their little stereotype. That's all my part. Now let's move the next part, Queen.
Hi everyone, I'm Quỳnh. So now we will come to the end of the video. We all accidentally have stereotyped behaviors in life, in relationship between people, and in daily communication that we don't even know. However, stereotypes are not only negative but also positive. You can see 3 stereotypes we mentioned. French people are the bad lover. Nghe An is good and fit people, and Chinese students are really good at math. So, it's really true? Actually, all of them may be true in the past, but not nowadays. First one, French people are the bad lover. It no longer appears. Next, Nghe An is good and fit people. It no longer true at present. Nghe An economy has developed quickly and comprehensively in the region. Some important fields such as technology, health, education, and tourism are leveraged to create motivation for the overall comprehensive development of the province. Last one. Chinese students are really good at math. Now, let's try to name a famous Chinese mathematician. Hard, isn't it? According to IG.pro, not all Chinese students are good at math. Chinese culture is obsessed with exam and assessment, not math. Are stereotypes beneficial or harmful? The nature of the stereotype is good, but it also has many bad things. According to QUD.com, it will impose too strong stereotypes on a person. They can have serious mental health problems. They can lower self-esteem and cause depression, as well as limit access to healthy care, housing, education, and full employment. The fact that others are visited against you can have a negative impact on your ability to control yourself. Remember that if you are visited against others, they could face serious consequences. That's why we need to have a most effective view to gradually remove stereotypes. Thus, there are stereotypes in a society. We can do is learn to be ourselves. You can seek sympathy from those around you as a way to energize. A country has different culture and different manner. We don't know what they have been. We need to take a holistic view when talking about a person in our country. As an anonymous person said, life is hard enough. Don't go around making others life miserable just because you can. You don't know what they have been. Cross-cultural communication, we learn about many different cultures. People belonging to different cultures have different understanding of the world. From that, we must respect our culture around the world. Stereotypes in cross-cultural communication can be helpful or harmful to the communication depending on the types and use. Stereotypes help people understand situation and act in accordance with the new circumstance. As we said, different people in different cultures have different views. I hope you will get new information and new perspective from our video. Thank you for watching.